Hey guys, Dibs here, and I've been playing a lot of Genshin Impact recently. Today I wanted to showcase my Childe, his current loadout, and how I use him. Let's get into it. Now, disclaimer out there, I am a free-to-play player, and I've only been playing for about 2 to 3 weeks, so to my fellow free-to-plays, work with what you got. So here, getting into the talents, he does have a basic bow combo. He has 2 stances of bow and dagger form. His bow form has a 6-hit combo, and the charge attack applies hydro damage and the Riptide debuff, which if you follow that up with another charge attack will apply Riptide Flash, dealing AoE damage. Very nice. His E switches him into dagger form, and following up with that, if you hit someone with Riptide on them, it performs Riptide Slash, which does more AoE Hydro damage. So all in all, very, very cool. Cooldown we'll come back to in a second. The ult, he actually has 2 versions, the ranged version and the melee version, depending if you're using a bow or the dagger at the time. Now, the ranged version does do less damage, but it also returns 20 energy. So usually you use this at the beginning of the fight, then you switch into your E form, do a bunch of hits with the daggers, and then the melee, you'll finish it off with an ult. Usually you'll get enough energy to do a melee ult at this point, so at that point it's a good point to switch off of the E, because it actually has a limited duration when you can be in it, which is 30 seconds. Now, this is where it gets a little complicated in his kit. You're going to have to balance between being in bow form or dagger form. I can't really give you a 100% guide to how to do that effectively. You're just going to have to kind of get a feel for it, and that's kind of the fun of this character. Now, moving on to his passive talents, we have Never Ending, which just extends Riptide duration. Sounds good. Another passive talent, Sword of Torrents. When Tartaglia is in Foul Legacy, your crits apply the Riptide debuff. So that's all in all really, really good. You can start to see how central Riptide is to Tartaglia's kit. Now, his last passive talent increases your own party member's normal attack by 1. So you can see it's even affecting himself. So even though you're going to be building for Hydro damage, his bow form is still going to pack a little bit of a punch thanks to his passive. Getting into his talents, we're going to go into crit rate, the #1 priority, so that you can spread more Riptide debuff with your daggers, basically when you crit. Followed up with crit damage, so you're doing more damage while you're critting with such high crit rate. After that, you're going to want to focus Hydro damage bonus. Now, Tartaglia, forgot his name for a second there, Tartaglia actually gets Hydro damage bonus when he levels up, so that's really good, but you also want to get more on the goblet. I don't really have that right now, and so I'm kind of missing a big chunk of damage. And if you can't get any of those, then get attack. Attack is always good. And if you can't get any of that, then you want to do energy recharge, because his ult does come back super, super fast. So that's sort of his prioritized stats. Alright, so going into his artifacts here, I've got a Gladiator 2-piece going on with some Berserker pieces, just to increase the crit rate and attack. On the Flower, I've got attack plus 12, crit rate here, and then more attack, pretty good. Flower, I've got pretty high crit damage, some energy recharge, and elemental mastery. I wish I could have gotten more attack percent on this, but what can you do? Berserker timepiece here, more attack percentage and crit damage and attack, all really, really good with the energy recharge. Another Berserker, I wish I could have gotten Hydro damage, but we work with what we got. And the Crown, I've got more attack basically and crit rate. So if I had to pick some sets, some 5-star sets, I'd probably choose the Noblesse Oblige just for more ults. Afterwards, I'd go for the Wanderer's Troop for the charge attack damage build. And after that, it would be probably Gladiators, followed up with Martial Artist for that insane normal attack damage, or more crit rate from Berserkers, or even if you have some Braveheart pieces or Sojourner pieces, those work too. So those are the hybrid builds. Alright, moving on to the weapon, I've got a compound bow. This is probably the least effective bow on him, but it's just the one I got for right now, so Why it's so ineffective is this physical damage bonus only applies to his actual bow hits. And he's all about Hydra damage and AoE, so this doesn't really help him. What does help him is the passive though, so it's not all a miss. So the attack with the attack speed, pretty good, because this applies in his dagger form. If I had to pick actual weapons that I wanted, then we'd have to go with the prototype crescent. I'll probably craft this next. This is a free-to-play weapon, so you can get that piece from the weekly boss here. If I gave in to my desires and get the battle pass, I would get the Viridescent Hunt because it gives crit rate and that awesome passive which groups enemies together. I don't have Venti, so this is actually pretty good. Rust, hands down, best 4-star for him. Just so much damage. Skyward Harp and Amos Bow, both really, really good. If you get these 5-star bows, slap them on them, upgrade them. Just the base attack itself is going to be amazing on him. Level 5, just hit AR40. Let's do this. Switch back into bow form. We do have kind of a long cooldown on our daggers, so here's about the point where if you wanted to Bennett ult, if these weren't pyro slimes, you would. We're not going to do that. Do this. Well, that actually hit him from behind. So that symbol above his head, we're gonna have to switch back into bow form, or else it's gonna be 48-second cooldown versus our 30 right now. Pretty good. Alright, that about wraps up my Childe showcase. If you liked, like, comment, subscribe. Also, our Discord links are down below, so come hang out with us. We're also live on Twitch every Tuesday and Saturday. So, thanks for watching.